Oh, bitch, I'm so over and upset with Molly ass right now that I'm liable to go outside and slap the shit out of somebody and don't even know them. This episode has got my feelings all shaken and stirred, and largely because I can identify with this situation. I have been here with a friend before, and this shit's got me reliving it. Want to talk about it? Here you go. Nessa girl, it's 5:57 p.m. and now I see why y'all been lighting up my social media all day talking about y'all cannot wait to see me watch Insecure. No, y'all couldn't wait to run my up. This is one of them episodes my ass wish I did not meet. When Molly walked her ass off from Andrew and was like, oh hell no, and she walked over to Issa, my blood pressure shot through the roof. But before we get to the end of the damn episode, let's start with the beginning. Woo-sa Q. Woo-sa. Yvonne Orgy, I'm liable to see you in the grocery store and dive on your ass, okay? That's how you know an actor slash actress is playing their part so well. When you mad with the person in real life. Yvonne, you gonna have to see by me, bitch. You gonna have to see me. Cause this shit got me mad. Nevertheless, the episode opens up with Issa playing on her IG and she saw Nate was up and hit him up. Let me tell you something. There is something about Kendrick Sampson that is so goddamn sexy, and that deep ass voice. He was laying in that bed waiting on me to come over. Won't you come over and make love to me? Said I haven't seen you in a while. I really miss your smile. Oh, that's Faith off the first CD for all the old hoes who mama drove an Acura Integra and was fucking a drug boy. Yes, God, with the 12s in the back. And that Faith come over bump. Y'all hoes know about it. Nevertheless, he was laying in that bed sexy as hell. And I was like, woo. And we finally find out why on episode 1, Issa says, I don't really fuck with Molly no more. She was talking to Nate. So the block party getting ready to go on, and the next scene is Molly in there in her nasty pajamas. Is it me? Or Molly keep her old nasty piece of lingerie? Yes, God, Molly. She say, ain't no Lane Bryant over here. Ain't no Ashley Stewart over here. She keep her so nasty Victoria's Secret, a little bit of Fredericks of Hollywood, a little bit of La Perla. Yes, God, you better use that law money. You better use that law money. I can't wait for Torian to undress you slowly with his teethis. And that La Perla, honey. Molly always keep her on a nasty piece of pajama. Let me ask y'all a question. Is y'all pajama people? Now listen, when I'm floating around the house, and half the time when I gotta do these videos, I gotta find a shirt to put on. I don't like clothes. I damn sure cannot sleep with clothes on. Now when I'm walking around the house eating and cooking, I have on some pajama bottoms. But I can't go to bed with all that shit on. And there's something about taking a bath and putting all that shit on that feels stupid. Bitch, I'm not putting on no 3-piece pajama. Okay? I'm just not. And when it comes to fucking, I'm a practical person. It ain't listen. Come get this box. Okay? Just come and get it. You ain't got to unwrap it with all this shit. We finna get naked and hunch anyway. I look at people crazy who hunch with their clothes on anyway. Ain't no... Pajamas is just a waste of money to me. Pajamas is hot, okay? I one of the people, I put my air on 72 and get under my cover. Don't nobody want to have on all them hot ass pajamas, okay? But Molly keep her, it did. Satin ain't even no breathable material. Won't that shit give you a yeast infection? Have your shit smelling a little naughty? Honey. All them damn sexy ass pajamas. But I guess if Andrew like it, who am I to judge? I guess you love it. Anyway, Molly talking all that cash money shit about not wanting to go. So then Andrew called her bluff. He like, fuck it then, let's not go. And she like, nah, but I gotta go. All right then, so shut your goddamn mouth, take off all them pajamas, and put your outfit on so we could go. It's an event, baby. I love that crazy ass intern. I don't know why, but that intern put me in the mind of Keke Palmer or whatever. Just the way she was moving, her mannerisms, her voice, she was real cute. Then we see Condola. Yes. Let me tell you something, Issa. You a better woman than I ever be. Cause after hello would have been, bitch, where the fuck you been? And then, bitch, you done did me wrong and you got the nerve to be acting all dry and evasive and all distant, like I done did something to you. And Issa said, you know, I thought maybe I did something to you. She said, Lawrence didn't tell you. Lawrence didn't tell me what? Because, baby, I'm not in relation with Lawrence. I'm not in a contract with Lawrence. I'm not working side by side with Lawrence. Lawrence been fucked my life up 5 years ago. Okay? For 5 years, too long. What is the tea and what is Lawrence got to do with this? Me and Lawrence broke up. Okay, you and Lawrence broke up, but I'm still trying to understand, Condola, what the fuck you and Lawrence breaking up got to do with you and Issa? Y'all went through this whole rigmarole about trying to shit not being awkward and keeping y'all friendship separate from what the fuck you got going on over there with Lawrence, and you gonna do me like this? You gonna do me like this? Now, the only thing I can fathom or foresee is the fact that maybe their breakup had something to do with Issa, but yet and still, Condola, you was professional, baby. Let me tell you something. I thought women who wore natural hair like that down to the workplace had to be extra professional because they was being judged for their natural hair. You had that hair braided up like a Panera bread bowl. I thought you was professional fish. But come to find out you weak. And maybe that's why your husband left you and cheated on your ass. I don't like the way you handle Condola, but thank you for the interns though. At least you came through. At a minimum, you could have sent Issa an email. You could have sent her a text message or something. Or you could have sent her some kind of directives via email. Or you could have handed off the shit to Tiffany and communicated through Tiffany. But to leave her like that, just out in the cold, out on a limb, in the word of Tina Marie, you dead ass motherfucking wrong. This shit, oh baby, let me tell you, this cussing that I'm brewing up for Molly ass, and I'm slowly getting amped as I'm going through my notes. They get to the step and repeat, and Kelli out there doing all kind of yoga in her sateen pantsuit. Yes, God, come through sky blue for the outside party. Just a little light piece of fabric. Don't want to get musty out to the festival. Don't want to be stinking in front of the vendors. But that's okay, because if you did, I'm sure it was enough Egyptian musk and patchouli oil, girl. I'm talking about canola oil too, bitch. You know the natural Hotep hoes, the vegan hoes be out there trying to sell all that vegetable shit that don't nobody want to season their food with. Nevertheless, honey, there was enough patchouli oil and Indian musk out there to cover it up if you had done got musky with your British accent. And speaking of, Kelli can do no wrong in my book. I do not know where they got this woman from, but she is funty hunty. When that heifer got to talking in that English accent, when that boy was coming up, I could not do anything but holler. But I am going to say this. Albeit this season or the next, I do want us to get a real serious something out of Kelli and her not just be the slapstick comic relief. I want Kelli to have something. I need her mama to die. I need, her to have a miscarriage. I need her to fall on hard times. Like, we need some depth, some drama, some soul from Kelli. Give her something. We need her to go get a gastric bypass and almost die. And see the light, dun, 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 coming out of the dark. We need something from Miss Kelli more than just being y'all's comic relief. Because in short, she to the group is the same thing Issa has been to Molly, the flunky, and that ain't right. She got layers to her. She's nuanced. She got dimensions. She got pain. Everywhere, we all got pain, but we want to know about Kelli pain. Keep your pain. It will rain sometime, but not in Southern California. They tell me. What did I eat? I don't eat something that got me hyper like this. I'm trying to think back. I figured out. Issa walks off and asks Derek and Tiffany did they know that Lawrence and Condola had broke up. Tiffany said she didn't know nothing. Derek said he didn't know nothing. He was actually normally overshares and didn't tell them anything. Then the intern come over and get Issa. Issa goes over that thing. She finna do some press with CNN, ABC, NWACP, and every other CTC TV nationally down to the television. Mama had a whole, let me tell you something. Y'all jumped from LA and went to Atlanta real quick with that fake it till you make it shit. Mama had her whole news reporter do. She had on her New York and Company news reporter outfit. She had her microphone and everything. And Issa said, well, what channel this gonna be in? My YouTube channel. What's the name of your channel? I ain't started it yet, girl. If that ain't some Atlanta bullshit, that fake it till you make it bullshit, that fake it ain't gonna make it bullshit, I don't know what is. But it was hilarious as all hell. And Issa captured so eloquently how people freaking do it in this damn business, in this town. Issa's brother shows up and shades the dog shit out of Kelli. I love their banter back and forth and how they don't see it for each other. And then he goes and meets Kelli over in the tent, asks her what part of London is she from, and she get to talking about South Central London and start bothering her, asking her about Brexit. And she just filibustering and trying to impress this Negro. And he said there was two branches of the U.S. government. When he said presidential branch and bank branch, now when he said presidential, it had me questioning myself, because I know it's been a long time since I graduated high school and took civics, but we learned that in elementary school. Nevertheless, I thought it was legislative and judicial. No, bitch, see, shit, I don't got it wrong. Executive branch and legislative, right? Executive and legislative. Lord have mercy. I'm right here trying to Jones on these goddamn people. My ass ain't even got it together. What I do know, bitch, is it wasn't presidential and bank, bitch. And Bank of America, that's why there's so many of them. Hilarious. Comedic gold, comic genius. That shit was funny. And then we find this what you get for fronting and faking. Half the time you be trying to present yourself a little higher, a little more mighty than the rest, and come to find out the motherfucker you trying to impress, he's a little lower, a little low on the totem pole. Low. Don't know what the fuck going on. And yeah. So Tiffany baby started crying, and Derek need to go take care of the baby. Is it me? Or based on Tiffany's demeanor in this episode, she kind of giving hints that she don't want this baby. I got a feeling that they may be leading us up to some postpartum situations, because you know most moms, they baby be somewhere crying, they breast be leaking, or whatever the case may be, and I know that they be dying to get out. But old girl look like she don't want her baby. It's alright. I know you from California. Is you finna redo Brenda's Got a Baby? Is Tiffany finna put her baby in the garbage? Is this finna be? Is we gonna have an adoption episode? Let me find out. Andrew and Molly sitting down in the VIP, and Andrew look over to Molly and be like, you know what? Isn't this a good thing? And Molly was like, you know, yeah, she had to give it to a girl. She was like, you know, yeah, it is. And so Andrew was like, being the voice of reason, and was like, you know, maybe Issa's been acting funny and been distant because she's at work. And Andrew had to bring it home for her. Was like, I mean, you know, you kind of played me to the left for work. And Molly was like, you know what? Touche. Baby, you got me. And I think that was an eye-opener for her. So then Molly makes it a point to somewhat extend the olive branch and go get Issa a chicken plate from the food truck, and was trying to talk and have another sister moment. And every time they try to get a little bonding time, or it takes us there, Issa gets called away. The assistant came over and said, you know, the headliner act was there. And Issa had to go greet the headliner act. We get over there in front of company, and then the assistant ass want to show out nose bleeding or whatever. She had got a hold of some bad coke over there. It was too cut. She had got a 80, but 60 of it was full of cut, and the other 20 was coke, or whatever the case may be. Girl, don't ask me how I know about the measurements and the dimensions in the square feet of the bag. But her nose was down there running to the damn people thing, and she had blowing corona all over the goddamn guests. And I'm surprised the people didn't get up and leave. Nevertheless, it was funny. And then, not only do we get to see old boyfriends or hunch buddies with Nate, but we get to see old friends. Y'all know they can never do this without the old neighbor that can't use whatever word from the gang sign. It was so funny and good to see him. Then we get to the stage, and Buddy hits the split. They walk Grady off the stage, and the girls hit the wobble. Issa and Molly end up wobbling. First of all, Karate Kid get out there and show Molly, baby, he got it going on, and you ain't finna show me nothing, baby. I can do jujitsu and I can do getutu dance. Yes, God, honey, legato for Karate Kid. Issa and Molly end up wobbling by each other, and it gets very awkward. And then, you know, music, dance, and laughter can always break down barriers between friends. And they go back to girlfriend mode, shaking it and twerking it and slapping five. And once again, we see when they're about to bond and get it together, Issa's called away. She goes to the stage, try to give her speech, and the people didn't want to hear because their feet was hurting. Their feet was hurting, their ankles was burning, and their heels was leading to the third, like Dr. Heavenly's on this episode of Made in Medicine LA, season 2, episode 2. And they called for the headliner act. And so Issa was like, oh, fuck my speech, call him out. And Buddy performs. It is great. It is everything. So the concert is over. All is well in the hood. The manager of the group walks up to Andrew and Molly and was like, you know, man, thank you for what you did. We enjoyed it. And Molly is like, well, what did you do? And Andrew says, well, Nate asked me to do this for Issa, so I just connected them, or whatever the case may be. Molly then gets infuriated, storms over to Issa, and sets it off. Now let's talk about it. Question number 1. Did Issa violate Molly by going around her and inviting and getting Andrew to contact the group? I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm going to say no is because if Molly never existed, Issa still had access to Andrew through Nate. They're roommates. So if Molly and Issa never even knew each other, Issa would have still had access to Andrew. Number 1. Number 2, you can't tell somebody else how to feel. Molly has the right to feel however she wants to feel about the situation based on her view and from her vantage point. Where Molly was totally wrong was for approaching Issa in that moment and ruining something that was just so great. Like the fact that Molly could not control her emotions and watch herself long enough to call Issa later, that she had to, it just ruined that girl's event. It just almost felt as like subconsciously Molly could not handle the fact that Issa did something successful and it went over without a hitch, and she had to just come ruin it because she's just so used to Issa being in a fucked up space. That's the only way she knows how to view her. I will say this. The beautiful thing that came out of that argument that they had is that they both got to say to each other what they were feeling. You know what I'm saying? I think when Molly used the word backstabber, y'all, you backstabbed me. I don't understand. Backstabbing implies betrayal. I don't see how Issa backstabbed her. And honestly and truthfully, it feels as if Molly was so mad with Issa that she was trying to hoard resources in an effort to assert some type of dominance over her. You tried to hold Andrew back from her for whatever reason because you wanted to show that you were somebody in a relationship. And what hurt you is the fact that she was able to go around your ass and get the very resource that you were coveting and holding as a prize to get her shit done. This is the Issa that you wanted the whole goddamn time, Molly. You thought she was a fuck up. You thought she was a screw up. Mama got it done and you can't handle it. Secondly, Issa told you right. Your concern, Molly, was the fact that you didn't want Andrew involved as a personal favor of you because you didn't want it to negatively impact your relationship if something did not happen. Your name in the mix. Your man gonna become complaining to you. I did this as a favor to you. He didn't do this as a favor to you. He did it as a favor to Nate. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Now I understand how it could be awkward regardless of, but I just think Molly handled this all wrong. Like, I'm just not seeing it for Molly. Yes, I do believe somewhere down the line, somewhere deep down, Molly does have grounds to have certain issues and reservations with Issa, but I feel like Molly's response to Issa, the shit she been saying, and her attitude has been disproportionate to what it is Issa has done. I feel like Molly has been more of the bad friend in this situation than Issa. That's just the way I see it. I may be wrong. I'm sure y'all gonna drop that in the comments and let me know how it really is and how you see it. But this shit had me triggered. Molly was all kind of wrong, and then what Molly said, you know, to Issa with her lying ass. What did she mean by Issa's lying ass? What is it that Issa was lying about that I'm possibly missing? I also dig how Issa told Molly, you know, you were able to help me at the one time that I really needed you, and you did it. And you didn't because of some arbitrary rule that you made up. And granted, yes, Issa can feel that way, but that is from Issa's vantage point. I have to side with Molly in saying that Issa, your track record ain't squeaky clean, and you have been shifty, shaky, and your shit has been very sketchy in the past. So she does have grounds for having some reservations for working for you, doing something for you. You don't have a track record of success. But Issa's looking at it like, you saw me struggle and we got you. You saw me struggle doing this. I finally get something on the go, and now you want to pull out. The gag is, Issa, you got to understand from Molly's vantage point, how did she know and how was she supposed to know that this was going to be the one thing that you actually did right when you got a track record and the trend of doing so many things wrong? This going back and forth with Molly and Issa is very deep, because none of what they're fussing about is what's going on in front of us. It is something deeper, something that we can't see, and it is far greater than her calling Andrew about this event. It is deep. Now, what I don't like, again, Molly was wrong for the way she handled it, that she got up in Issa's face. And what would have really made this good, but I'm glad it didn't happen, what would have really made it good was if they physically started fighting, right? Because that does happen sometimes. And then you really got to do that. How do we get back as girlfriends and we don't fight each other? This bitch done hit me. Some people may argue that once licks are thrown, there really is no room for reconciliation. And just when things were about to boil over, God stepped in and somebody pulled out a gun, and in a true nigga fashion, the event was over because everybody took off running like crazy. And good thing nobody got trampled like that event that Puffy had through at that school where the doors closed this way and not this way, and a couple people had got trampled on and died. This was a really explosive episode of Insecure. It was really, 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 really good. I wished Issa would have let Nate stay behind and help her, and they would have bonded and kissed between the cotton candy machine. But hey, you can't have everything. This was a good ass episode. We complained about some of them episodes. This episode, these 30 minutes gave me what I need, baby. And I hope I gave y'all what y'all need. Y'all hoes, be sure to like and subscribe. And I'ma call y'all later. Bye.